Hi all, welcome to linuxnext.com YouTube channel. Today we are going to see how to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 6. This is similar to CentOS and OpenSUSE Linux, which are totally meant for Enterprise Linux. So let us start with installing the things. Once you insert a CD-ROM into CD-ROM, you'll see multiple options as you are able to see in this video. There are total 4 options. The first option is used for installing or upgrading an existing system, which will help you to upgrade an already existing Linux OS. The second option is to do a fresh installation in a GUI mode. The third one is to rescue already installed OS which is corrupted or something like you want to rescue something, you can use this option. The fourth option is for booting from a local disk or drive, so that you no need to install this OS. You can use already existing OS. So let us start with our installation by selecting the second option. Once you select the second option, you can see VM Linux, which is a kernel image, and inherited image, which is a initialization image, are just unpacking and they're loading into the RAM so that it will be useful for installing your OS. Here you can select which language you are preferred to install this one. When you are installing the process will be entirely in that language. I want to select English as my secondary language is English, so I'll select the English option, and even keyboard is US. I'll select it as a default one. You can select from which resource you want to install your OS. I want actually I inserted my CD-ROM here, so I'll go with my local CD-ROM and click OK. Sometimes it's required to scan before installing any OS, because most of the time CDs are corrupted or DVDs are corrupted between, like once you started installing and middle you'll be like prompted with the file is not existing or something. In order to avoid such embarrassing situations, better you do a CD scan so that it will check your entire CD-ROM for any scratches or errors, so that you will be you can stop the installation here itself. You no need to proceed and create a file system and other stuff. As I am aware, like my CD-ROM is newer one, so I'll just go with the skip option so that it will not check anything. If you see this Anaconda is a like a bootloader or installing software which is written in Python. That's the name it indicates. So now no fun of it actually. So this is the first screen you will see when you are installing the Linux OS. Nothing but Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I'll just say next. If you see it's saying preloaded OS, you no need to worry, as it is a beta version. It will give you the like a warning kind of thing. You just say install anyway. You can select which storage you want to select, basic one or specialized storage device. This is very much important nowadays. People are installing OS onto a sandbox or NAS box, so you no need to install on a like present like hard disk or whatever in your machine. This is totally for centralized disk management. So I don't want to go with SAN storage. I'll go with basic storage device. So I'll keep the default one as it is. The next one, it will say it's going to like it's a data will be lost or something, some installation is causing. I don't want, I'll not bother about the things because it's a fresh installation. Your OS can format the hard disk whatever it preferred or whatever it can use. So I'll say install all. It will ask the user host name. You can give whatever host name. I'll go with www.linuxnext.com. www is my host name here. Say next, and you can select the location. You can select what's the location for your machine, then say next. You can give the root password, anything, but make sure that it's complex so that it will not prompt you enter some dictionary blah, 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 like that. It will be like a little bit annoying, so I'll just go with the complex password. Say next. Now you can see there are multiple options. Use all the space. If you select this one, it will create its own like formatting layout and partition layout, so I don't want to go with that one. The second one is replacing an existing one. Again, this is similar to above one, but it will replace all the existing one. This is like shrink the current system, use free space. This is useful when you are installing a dual boot system, so that it will use only free space. But I want to go with a custom, create a custom layout stuff, so I'll select the last option. I'll go with next. If you see, I have 8 GB of hard disk, which is more sufficient for installing the Red Hat OS. I'll go with create. I can see here standard partition, RAID partition, and LVM stuff. You can install your OS on an RAID partition and LVM partition. They are bit advanced, or you no need to worry. You will go with the standard partition. Say create. I'll go with the first root directory. If you see, these are the default ones available. You can create on your own. I'll go with root directory. I'll go with ext4 partition, which is the latest partition in the ext series. So I'll go with that one. I'll select 6 GB of my hard disk. If you see, it says fixed size, fill up the size, fill to maximum allowed size, or something like that. If you select, it will, whatever you mention, it will fill up to that size. Fixed size means it will just select whatever we given. Fill to maximum allowable means if it finds a empty space, it will try to even fill up the things. So I don't want to go with anything. I'll go with the basic or default option. So say select OK. If you see, it's got created and it says ext4 and freeze, so and so. I'll go with one more creation. I'll go with standard partition. This time I'll select swap partition, which is for which is useful for my virtual memory. I'll go with 1 GB. So same remaining, all you can keep it as same. Say OK. You got all the things like 6 GB of partition with this one, and you can even select some other partitions. Say create. I want to go boot, which is just required 100 MB, not more than that one. But if you prefer, you can go with 500 MB. But in my experience, 100 MB is more than sufficient for boot partition. Say OK. Remaining things you can create for home directory. I'll go with 10, which is nothing but 1 GB. So that's it. You created some 4 partitions with boot, then root, then home, then a swap partition. Okay, we are set with the partition table changes. We'll go with the next option. It says like it's going to format. Do you want to keep the changes? We totally like ignore this one because we are installing a fresh installation. Say format it, and it says like boss, again I'm going to write these changes. I don't know how, why these many times. If we say yes, it should go in one case. Okay, no problem, we'll say write the changes to the disk. Now it will start formatting the things. If you see, it's showing that formatting ext4 for slash dev slash vda235, all those stuff. This is useful for displaying the information. You can display whatever information you want. It's useful for when you are prompted at the boot time. What I'll do is I'll give the Linux. Oh yes, I'll give in this way, so it will change to that one. Say next. If you see, this is the beauty of open source. You can install whatever applications you want. It's totally like you get it like what the OS I mean what the stuff you require. I'll go with the desktop stuff, or sometimes you can depends on your requirement, like whether it is a web browser you want to configure it so that it will install Apache and other applications like that. So I'll go with if I say customize, if I say next, from here you can select what are the applications or what are the servers, database, virtualization, high availability, desktop, everything you can select it from here. So it's totally depends on your requirements. So I don't want to go with any customization now, because whenever I require, I'm going to install those packages in future. So I'll go with desktop version, installing repo and other stuff, and customize later. That's it. Say next. Okay, It started installing. Let us wait for some time so that it will install the things. It will take a couple of time, actually a couple of minutes time, depending upon the softwares we selected. So what we'll do is, meantime we'll pause this video so that once it installed every application, we'll start the video once again. Yeah, we are almost completed installing the OS. Let us see how much time it will take. So if you see, it's very much easy to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Once installing the package is completed, you'll be prompting with a reboot button. So just press that one so that all the changes will be all the changes will be written onto the disk and other stuff. Yeah, if you see, you can reboot the machine, and let us wait for some time. Yeah, you can go with the booting the Linux Juggernaut, which we already given at the time of installation. So it's just starting the booting process. Now this is the only one time user information providing windows. You can just go one by one, just say forward. You can create a local account so that it will be useful for your local logins. Because root user is not by default allowed to log in as GUI user, so better you create one. I'll go with again complex password, because again it will be prompting. So I'll say next or forward. Yeah, the time and date are fine with me. Say finish. That's it. You're now prompted with the user logins and other stuff. I think I have some issue with my GUI tool. This is how you can install the things.